Come and check out two of my latest sewing makes. A fun top using Simplicity 9051 and a cool shirt dress using McCall's 8030. Check it out. YouTube, I'm Crystal from Crystalsewsandstuff.com. Welcome back to the channel today. So today I wanted to share with you some fun makes that I've made recently. One of them is a fun top as well as this really cool shirt dress. So first, let's get into the top pattern. So the first thing I wanted to share with you is this really cute top that I made using Simplicity 9051. And this is a really cool top pattern as well. Well, it's a whole wardrobe kind of pattern. It has a top, it has and some pants, as well as a scarf slash tie pattern as well. So you can make the top sleeveless. It has arm binding for the sleeves, and then there's also an option to make it with sleeves, and that's the option that I did. And then there's also a pattern piece there are also pattern pieces to make an elastic waist pair of pants that have a really cool split open pant option. So this is a really good versatile pattern from Simplicity, and it came out in 2020, so I've had it in my stash for over a year now. So because I got it, I think, right when it came out, and I really love the pants option. But for this top, I decided to go with the top option, and I decided to make the one with the sleeves. So now let me tell you about the pattern. So I used this really fun purple lavender crepe that I believe I picked up in a pattern stash a couple years, like several years ago. I know I've had this in my stash for at least 3 years. And so anyway, I decided to use this really pretty purple crepe to participate in the sewpurpletoendalz hashtag on Instagram. And this hashtag was created by Michelle of Michelle Sews Again here on YouTube as well as on Instagram. And she created this hashtag to raise funds to fight against Alzheimer's disease. And she just asked everyone to sew something purple in the month of October, and she would match for everyone who participated in the challenge, she would match $1 for everyone who participated up to $500. So anyway, even though the hashtag is over, I'll leave a link to Michelle's channel and her video where she explains how you can go ahead and donate to Alzheimer's disease, even though the hashtag is over, but you can still donate to the to end Alzheimer's disease. So anyway, let me tell you about this top. So this was a really fun and easy sew to make. There aren't a lot of pattern pieces. You just had your front pattern piece cut twice, and then you have your back pattern piece cut twice, and then you have your sleeves. You cut those twice, and then you have your neckband. And then if you want to do the sleeveless version, there are armhole bindings instead of the sleeves. So really quick and easy sew. Some of the defining features are, one main defining feature is it has this little split opening. The only thing is when you wear it, it's not really very visible. So I think next time I will probably just go in a little bit more, maybe go in maybe a whole inch seam allowance instead of a ½ inch, just to make it a little bit more open. It still doesn't come very low, so it's still, you can still in order to make the peephole a little bit more visible, you can just probably just go out a little bit, you know, increase the seam allowance just to keep that, get that opening a little bit wider. But other than that, I really like the pattern, and the neck hole is a little bit snug. So depending on the size of your head, it was a little, you had to mush it down a little bit over your head. I had to pull it down pretty well to get it over my head. But other than that, a really easy pattern, and I really love it. So I will probably just scoop out the neckline, maybe just another ½ inch or so, just to give a little bit more room up in the neck area. But it's a really easy pattern. It's hemmed up with a narrow hem on the bottom as well as a narrow hem on the sleeves, and these are nice flared sleeves. And I do like that it has the seams in the back. This would be really cute for color blocking, because you could probably do like red and black, and then black and red, and do something funky with the sleeves. That would be really cute to do something like this and some kind of color blocking design. But I really love how this turned out, and I'm so glad I made it. Such a quick, easy sew. And I think you would really enjoy making this cute top pattern. This is a fun pattern to make if you only have a little bit of fabric. It only took like maybe 1.5 yards, if that. And I made the size 12, so about 1.5 yards or 1.25 yards for this pattern. So it didn't take up a whole lot of fabric. Of course, you can use even less if you just make the sleeveless version. So really fun pattern. It also has an option for a tie belt, so you can wear it either as a waist tie, or you can wear it as a neck scarf. So this is a really super versatile, easy pattern, and something you can just throw together. If you have some really cute fabric that you want to wear, you could probably even make this in something real shiny for a holiday top as well. But this is a really cute pattern for something where you don't have a lot of fabric, but you want something really cute and looks more difficult than it actually is. So I highly recommend this Simplicity 9051. This pattern that I wanted to share with you is McCall's 8030, and this is another really cool pattern from 2020. So I'm working on the 2020 patterns that I never got a chance to sew up for this video. But anyway, this is a really cool pattern. It's also called Josie McCall's. It's right after they just started naming all of their patterns with pattern names. So this is Josie McCall's, or McCall's 8030, and this is a really cool pattern. It has 3 views, and basically they're just length views. They're not any different. It's just the length, and the hemline is a little different. So view A has just a curved hem, but it's a shorter, like a shirt length, or maybe hip length right here. Then you have view B, which is a midi kind of shirt dress length, and then you have view C, that is the maxi length. So these are all really, and it also comes with a pattern piece for a belt. It has a cool collar piece, and then there are also pockets. So let me tell you a bit more about the pattern. So there aren't a lot of pattern pieces to it. So you have your front pattern piece, which is from here down, that is cut twice, and then you have your back pattern piece, that one's cut on the fold, and then you have your front yoke piece as well as your back yoke piece. You have your collar stand, and then your collar, and then you have sleeve bands. And so not a lot. So I think there's 8 pattern pieces in total. No, and then you also have your button band. So I believe there are 8 pattern pieces plus the pockets and the tie. So that's a total of 8 pattern pieces. So pretty straightforward pattern, and a really good beginner friendly shirt dress pattern. And the sleeves are kind of built into the pattern. So you have your front piece, it kind of comes up at an angle right here, and that makes the bottom half of the sleeve, and then the yoke part goes down on an angle, and that makes the top part of the sleeve. So the sleeves are just kind of built in, and so I really like that about the pattern. So if you're new to inserting sleeves, you don't have to worry about that with this pattern. Really easy. And then you have the arm binding. So the front pattern piece is gathered right here where it connects to the front yoke, as well as it's gathered here on the back to connect to the back yoke. And then this view that I'm wearing is view C, and view C has a curved hemline here at the bottom, and I really like how that looks on it. The fabric that I chose is Savannah Print. It's called Savannah Print Stripes in the colorway Brick, and it's from Melanated Fabrics, and I picked this up I think earlier this year. And at first I was going to do something summery, but then I decided the colors were better for fall, and I love how it turned out in this colorway. These are just some beautiful stripes, and I like this pattern because it really shows you how to go ahead and play with your stripes. So the pattern piece is it tells you the grain line is in the vertical direction for the front and then the back, and then the yoke pieces are cut horizontally, and then your sleeve bands are cut on the bias, and then your neck, your collar, your collar and collar stand are cut vertically, and so the grain lines on the pattern tell you which way to place all of your patterns. The only mistake that I made was when I did the sleeve bands, I just cut it double on the right side instead of flipping the pattern piece over. So I had some stripes going upwards on one arm and then they were going down on the other arm. Fortunately, I had enough fabric that I could go ahead and recut one of the armbands, but I guess it probably wouldn't look too bad if I decided to keep it that way. But if you do do the armbands in stripes, well, if you do the whole pattern in stripes, just make sure you flip over that armband piece to make sure that your stripes are going in different directions. So this is a really good pattern if you're new to working with stripes. The only things I've really paid attention to when working with this pattern is that I made sure to cut the back piece on the black line so that it could be kind of uniform, and then I cut the front pattern piece starting on the black line as well as the band so that I could have the black line. Just kind of keep a good flow to the stripes going. So that's all I had to do. So since the main part of the pattern is cut vertically, I didn't have to worry about matching up stripes really, because when you sew them down together, you just kind of get a nice little angle to your stripes to it. And then it looks really cool with the pockets like this. Cool pattern. I'm just loving how it turned out in this amazing stripe fabrics. And the buttons that I chose are these kind of leather look buttons, and I picked these up at Lawrence Trimmings in New York, and I just love how they look with these leather like buttons. Oh, and I forgot to say that it does have a pattern piece for a belt, but when I put it on, I didn't love how it looked with a belt. I mean, I guess it's okay, but I wish I had lengthened it a bit to make it just a little bit cuter. And you're supposed to have D-rings with it. Even though I have some belt buckles, I don't have D-rings, just plain D-rings. But if I did it again, I might lengthen the belt. It might look a little better if I just lengthened it a bit. But either way, I like it more without the belt instead of with the belt. But overall, I really just love this pattern. My review of McCall's 8030, and I decided to wear it in a more fall-like fashion. So I decided to pair it with this cute turtleneck, as well as my black leather pants and some of my little Rockport boot heels. So that's how I decided to style it. So go ahead and check out some more pics and some twirls of me wearing both of these makes. Alright, so those are my reviews of these two fun patterns. I highly recommend both of them. They're both easier makes. I mean, this one just took a little bit longer because for me, shirt dresses just take a little bit longer because you got to deal with the buttons and everything. But it's still not a lengthy pattern, and there aren't a lot of pattern pieces to it. But I always take a little bit longer with shirt dress patterns. Maybe it's just me. So anyway, these are my reviews of Simplicity 9031 as well as McCall's 8030, and I'm really loving both of these patterns, and I think you all would love them both. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know, and let me know what you think about these makes in the comment section. And if you've sewn them up, I'd love to know how yours turned out. And if you're on Instagram you've made one of these, go ahead and let me know your channel name so I can go ahead and check out your versions as well. All right, anyway, I hope you all are doing well, and can't wait to see you next time. Take care. Bye.